Most decisions should probably be made with somewhere around 70% of the information you wish you had. If you had, wait for 90%. In most cases, you're probably being slow. To invent, you have to experiment, and if you know in advance that it is not going to work, it is not an experiment. Most large organizations embrace the idea of invention, but are not willing to suffer the string of failed experiments necessary to get there. We take risks all the time. We talk about failure. We need big failures in order to move the needle. If we don't, we're not swinging enough. You really should be swinging hard, and you will fail, but that's okay. We all know that if you swing for the fences, you're going to strike out a lot, but you're also going to hit some home runs. If you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and you won't see a different solution to a problem you're trying to solve. If you never want to be criticized, for goodness sakes, don't do anything new. Companies are rarely criticized for the things that they failed to try, but they are, many times, criticized for the things they tried and failed at. As a company grows, everything needs to scale, including the size of your failed experiments. If the size of your failures isn't growing, you're not going to be inventing at a size that can actually move the needle. Amazon will be experimenting at the right scale for a company our size if we occasionally have multi-billion-dollar failures. When you think about the things that you will regret when you're 80, they're almost always the things that you did not do. They're acts of omission. Very rarely are you going to regret something that you did that failed and did not work or whatever. Friends congratulate me after quarterly earnings announcement and say, "Good job, great quarter." And I'll say, "Thank you, but that quarter was baked 3 years ago." When competitors are in the shower in the morning, they're thinking about how they're going to get ahead of one of their top competitors. Here in the shower, we're thinking about how we are going to invent something on behalf of a customer. Failure and invention are inseparable twins. To invent, you have to experiment. And if you know in advance that it's not going to work, it's not an experiment. I think frugality drives innovation, just like other constraints do. One of the only ways to get out of the tight box is to invent your way out. There'll always be serendipity involved in discovery. You have to be willing to be misunderstood if you're going to innovate. If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to double your inventiveness. If you decide that you're going to do only the things you know are going to work, you're going to leave a lot of opportunity on the table. If you're watching your competitors, you're unlikely to invent a bunch of stuff on your own. Me Too companies have not done that well over time. No customer was asking for Echo. This was definitely us wandering. Market research doesn't help. Development of the Fire Phone and Echo was started around the same time. While the Fire Phone was a failure, we were able to take our learnings as well as the developers and accelerate our efforts building Echo and Alexa. Staying in day one requires you to experiment patiently, accept failures, plant seeds, protect saplings, and double down when you see customer delight. You can have a job, or you can have a career, or you can have a calling. If you can somehow figure out how to have a calling, you have hit the jackpot, because that's the big deal. If you can make a decision without analysis, you should do so. But it turns out in life that most important decisions are always made with the instinct and intuition, taste, heart. Where you're going to spend your time and your energy is one of the most important decisions you get to make in life. Life's too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. In the end, we are our choices. Build yourself a great story. Cleverness is a gift. Kindness is a choice. Gifts are easy. They're given after all. Choices can be hard. If I have 3 good decisions a day, that's enough. They should be just as high quality as I can make them. The best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, doesn't need to talk to you. It just works. We don't focus on the optics of next quarter. We focus on what is going to be good for the customer. Great innovations, large and small, are happening every day at Amazon on behalf of customers.
We've had 3 big ideas at Amazon that we've stuck with for 18 years, and they're the reason we're successful. Put the customer first, invent, and be patient. If you're competitor focused, you have to wait until there is a competitor doing something. Being customer focused allows you to be more pioneering. You can have the best technology, you can have the best business model, but if the storytelling isn't amazing, it won't matter. Nobody will watch. All businesses need to be young forever is your customer base ages with you. Your Woolworths. In the old world, you devoted 30% of your time to building a great service and 70% of your time to shouting at it. In the new world, that inverts. There are 2 kinds of companies, those that work that try to charge more and those that work to charge less. We will be the second. We are stubborn on vision. We are flexible on deals. If you only do things where you know the answer in advance, your company goes away. If you're long-term oriented, customer interests and shareholder interests are aligned. A company shouldn't get addicted to being shiny, because shiny doesn't last. All of my best decisions in business and in life have been made with heart, intuition, guts, not analysis. Sometimes we measure things and see that in the short term, they actually hurt sales, and we do it anyway. We are comfortable planting seeds and waiting for them to grow into trees. There are 2 ways to extend a business. Take inventory of what you are good at and extend out from your skills, or determine what your customers need and work backwards, even if it requires learning new skills.